This is not just another safety message. It is not an exercise to be seen to be doing something about safety. I'm talking to you today because I am 100% committed to leading a business where every one of our people goes home safely each day. You should know I fully support any actions or recommendations by staff to make our workplaces safer, including financial investment, raising what could be a difficult concern, or even stopping production. The safety of our people always comes first. But I'm concerned because we are not a safe business. We have in recent times suffered a number of incidents, one resulting in a serious injury and another a situation which could have easily resulted in a serious injury or even death, what we call a near miss. These incidents were not caused by one single element, but rather the combination of several elements that, when combined, have had serious consequences for all involved. So before you switch off because you think I'm safety conscious, I'm not the person you want to be talking to. I want you to watch and listen to the following stories.
Electricity in itself is seriously dangerous. It can kill someone or cause even just severe injury. It's not something to be taken lightly by any means. On the day of the near miss, we had 3 pump sets to do, one after the other, all identical in design. Also on that day I had a project which had to be finished on that day because I was about to go into state the next day, so I had to get ready for a trip. So quite stressed out because I didn't have much time left in the day and I had still half a solid bit of work to do. It was such routine work that I'd done before, it didn't require a terrible amount of focus for me to actually do the task.
We were testing 3 pumps. It was the 3rd pump that the incident happened. One was wiring. I actually walked away, and then when I returned, I noticed that a live wire was hanging on top of a motor. The first thing was I actually tore wine, and then I went over and switched the power off. But by switching that power off, it actually was still live. You actually have to disconnect the whole thing by opening the cabinet. I just pressed the off power. Wine actually isolated the power, basically.
My first reaction was more focused on just getting control of the situation. I wasn't worried as such. It just required my focus to find it and get the situation back under control. Some reaction, whatnot, could have meant I could have knocked the lead in a bad way, and next thing you know, I could have been quite easily next. The floor can also be covered in water frequently, especially in testing multiple units. So there is definitely a risk with the lead where if it was to touch the ground, the water around your feet could become live and then possibly use you as a path to return, and which means electricity would go through you, and that could do any amount of damage from something simple as like blowing off a toe or a finger to literally killing you. People were quite upset. Like, could they have gotten electrocuted? How much further did it really have to go for them to be just as much at risk as I was in that particular situation?
We had a formal investigation into this incident, what we call an ICAM investigation, where we involve a number of people from Davey and additional resources from outside Davey. After the incident and after the ICAM investigation, there was a number of controls put into place, including an illuminated panel. We've put in a form of RCD protection. We've also put in strobe lights. We've looked at our procedures and our work instructions. They've all been updated. So hopefully we can look forward from this incident now and not have something like this happen again in the future.
It also affected me with the people I work with. Their trust in me was damaged in a sense. That was trust earned over a long period of time, and it's going to be quite difficult to get back to that sort of level again.
We don't allow staff to talk on a mobile phone when they're walking around the factory. There's a lot of signage throughout the business. We don't expect people to take shortcuts.
The accident which has happened when I was talking on the phone, at the same time I'm walking in the unsafe area. And then your mind, which was still thinking something on the phone and trying to do something else, which is trying to push the button for the lights. And at that time, when my foot tripped inside the supporting bar, not even in my mind thinking, oh, this is a dangerous thing to do. Because there's no traffic, no nothing, I can just bypass that wise, and I didn't think this is a dangerous behaviour.
Surprised it happened to Dave. I'm surprised it happened to anybody in the company. We're a very sort of safe organisation, and as far as I was aware, there weren't any sort of significant areas of risk in the company. To him, happened personally, yes, I'm surprised. I'd say I've worked with him for 16 years and never known him to have an accident in any shape or form.
I couldn't believe what David had actually done. 3 broken bones in his foot, off work for 86 days.
And if I had some sort of arthritis problem, in the future maybe I have to do some operation called fuse operation, which is to cut the 2 joints away. After that, my foot will be a little bit stiffer, and then we're changing my walking pattern. So therefore, maybe the arthritis in my hips maybe have some sort of effect in the future. I only have two places to sit at home. One is in the bed, and 2 is I just sit in the recline chair to keep elevate the foot which is over my heart. So after 8 or 9 weeks, and my back muscle was pain everywhere, which is uncomfortable. It's not good. It's a very, very bad experience.
The work David normally does has been reallocated, probably within 3 people in Davey. So that has added to their workload. I think in this case, because David has injured himself and he's seen throughout the business as someone who's passionate about safety, he's really going to send a message to everybody else that incidents like this can happen really easily.
The message I was trying to pass into Davey's staff is that safety is not a slogan. Safety is the real thing. You have to do the job safe first. Otherwise, there will be impact to the company, the impact for your family too.
I want to thank those who've been willing to contribute to this video, especially David Zhang and Wayne Adams, for choosing to use their experiences to help others avoid the pain they still feel many months on. This pain has not just been physical, which in David's case is bad enough, but emotional, which is possibly much, much worse. The impacts of this on their lives, their friends and family, and their workmates is impossible to measure. It would have undoubtedly been easier for them not to front up and to put themselves out there to relive what has been very traumatic for both of them. I know that this has taken an enormous amount of courage. I hope that telling these stories has impressed on you how a split-second, seemingly justified decision can affect your life and others around you for a very long time. I hope you will also admit to yourself that the decisions that David and Wayne made are not dissimilar to the ones that you or one of your colleagues may have made in the past, maybe even this week. The difference is that you haven't had to suffer the consequences that these guys did. In other words, this could have been you. You could have been the one telling your story today and trying to rebuild your confidence and your credibility with colleagues and family, and with yourself. So I urge you to go back to your workplace, take an honest look at how you're doing things, Have conversations with your colleagues. Ask yourself, could I be at risk here? And most importantly, if you see something, say something. You may be saving yourself and others from a lot of pain. It's the responsibility of each and every one of us to ensure that Davey is a safe place to work.